Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to yet another live session of Let's Talk Sports. I'm Prarthana, as you all know me. I'm a sports journalist, I'm a broadcaster, I'm a commentator, a podcaster, and I love interacting with all of you. And I'm really enjoying this digital media of connecting with all of you in this COVID-19 pandemic. And I think it is the digital media that's helping all of us to connect with each other. I would really like to thank all of you for your love, for your support, and it's really wonderful to have you all. And I really thank you all for the support that you have shown me throughout all my sessions. Today we shall be having a great session with a very well-known personality, somebody, a thorough gentleman, a shuttler from this part of the region, from Assam, an Olympian, and a coach, none other than Dipankar Bhattacharjee. Let's welcome him and let me connect with Dipankar da. So I'm trying to add Dipankar Bhattacharjee for the live session, and I hope you all have questions for him, and you all will be sending me questions. I already have a lot of questions. And I'll be reading out some of the questions and some of the reactions through the live session. I'm trying to add Dipankar Bhattacharjee, and we shall be having a wonderful discussion on the game called badminton. And not only badminton, we will be discussing a lot about the current sports scenario and uh, about the players, and obviously there you see Dipankar Bhattacharjee joining me live from Mumbai. Hello Dipankar da, good evening and a warm welcome to
Hi.
Let's Talk Sports. Hello.
Yes, good evening. Good evening.
কি খবর আপনার?
Oh, ভালোই। তোমার কিরকম?
It's so good to see you. I think
Yes,
I'm someone who never misses an opportunity to have a chat with you whenever you are in Guwahati. I try to grab
thank
him
you so
all the
much.
time. And I know Dipankada is always an introvert, a shy kind of a personality who is not much into technology. Yesterday, when I had a word with him, like Dipankada, I want you for the live session. He said, I'm not much into Facebook. So I said, try to connect so that we can have a wonderful session. We can talk about badminton, his first love, and of course, a lot of people has sent me questions for you, Dipankara. So let's talk sports, and I welcome you once again to this live session.
Thank you
So
very much.
Dipankara, tell me, during this COVID-19 pandemic, we all know that we are working from home. We are also trying to connect with a lot of people through uh, digital media. So what are you doing during this pandemic, and how are you coping with this pandemic?
Well, initially, when the pandemic started, when the lockdown started in March,
Yes.
so
Hmm.
we were doing online physical training sessions with our students.
Right.
So coaches were taking classes for the various batches. So they were doing those Zoom sessions on the
Hmm.
online. And then uh, last 1.5 months, our stadium has partially opened. So the three of the best students that we have,
Okay.
and
Hmm.
all the others, for them, we are continuing with the online session. So that is how we are
All
doing. I
right.
think that is
Hmm.
how most of the coaches are doing all across the country. In fact, all across the world at the
Yes,
moment.
absolutely. Yeah, yes, 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 all across the world, yes, because it's a global pandemic and, a
Yes.
global lockdown. At times
Yes.
it is very frustrating, at times when the first lockdown started in the mid-March, it was very frustrating for parents, for journalists like us, not going to stadium frequently, and, that's where our heart is because, Nehru Stadium, Porokhajai Stadium, Barshapara Stadium, we're always
Mm.
there because we tend to get so many sports stories now because Guwahati is a buzz with so much of sporting activities from the last couple of years now. So it is very disturbing to see, a lot of IPL matches were abandoned here. and then we had two international boxing tournament which didn't take place because of the pandemic, and a lot of international events and national events. So it was very frustrating for all of us. And like you said, all the coaches were, coaching
In
virtually with
fact,
all their
in
student
fact, what
respective
happened?
students.
In fact, what happened for us was during that month of March, when some of the
Yes,
children, they just finished their exam end of February, so they started coming,
yes.
and few of the students came from outside, like from Assam also. There was there were two
Hmm.
children who came, then from Calcutta. So they rented their house here, and they were all ready to go for the sessions. We had the Malaysian coach also over here. So
Hmm.
it is just then, all of a sudden the police came and they said that no, we cannot continue like this because it's a very
Hmm.
serious situation. The clubs has to close. So
Hmm.
mid March when we got this, and we were totally, I know we didn't know what to do. Those children who came down all the way from Assam and Calcutta. So they were very, very disappointed and they had to go back.
Absolutely, because everybody planned something for a particular
Yeah.
season, and then all of a sudden, when you, like you said, somebody came from Guwahati, some other places, and they rented apartments and houses, and in fact, that was the time when the CBSE exams ended. The
Yes.
session ended, and then they got a break, 1.5 months break, and that is the time when
Yeah.
I can understand when people plan something and all of a sudden, something. Nevertheless, life has to go on, and
Yeah.
I think we all are coping really well now. I had a word
Yes.
with Abhijit, the volleyball captain. You might
Yeah.
know him very well. Yes,
Yes.
so he's also saying the same thing. Mona Lisa also said the same thing. Virtually we are trying to coach people, trying to
Mm.
motivate them, because it is no point getting frustrated, because this phase, this bad phase, will also pass away, isn't it?
Fine.
Deepak Amarnath has joined in and he said, "Hello, Dipankar. This is Deepak Amarnath. Great to see you."
Hi. Hi, Dipal.
So, so a lot of people were really eager to, listen what you want to say about your game of badminton. So tell us something now that you're fully into coaching. You've expanded your academy to Chandigarh. So how is
Jalandhar.
it going? Yes, how is it going?
Jalandhar.
And Jalandhar, yes. How is it going, and how is the response of students out there, your trainees out there?
Yeah, Jalandhar Center, we started in 2019, May 2019, and
Hmm.
one full year we did very well. I stationed around 5 coaches over there, and I used to visit every month for 4 to 5 days. So I mean, it is a very beautiful stadium, and it's a stadium where I played one of the senior nationals. Uh,
Okay.
where Madhurji Barua was the runner-up. It is that very
So it
stadium,
was
full
like a
plus stadium in
nostalgic
Jalandhar.
moment for you. Okay.
Yeah,
And a
and
nostalgic moment for you.
yeah, very, very. I mean, that's a very renowned stadium. And when I
Hmm.
visited that place, it was very nostalgic and very. I mean, Punjab has a very great inclination towards sports. So lot of students were there. There were a lot of enthusiasm when I visited, and it went on well. They had to lock down for the pandemic, and the best part
Hmm.
is they were one of the first sports facility, to have started training during the pandemic, maintaining all
Okay.
the protocols. So social distancing
Okay.
and sanitization, So they have
Hmm.
started for the elite batch initially, and then
Hmm.
they also started for the intermediate batch. So following all the protocols. So
That's
they
great.
are
That's a
continuing
very,
now.
very,
They are
yeah,
continuing
inspiring
now.
news.
So
Okay.
I keep in touch with the coaches, and whatever discussion we have to have, we are having over phone, and from time to time we review what is going on.
Okay, so
So
how
that's
many
and but
coaches
our
do you have
Nehru
there?
Center, our sorry, Vashi Center hasn't started yet, and our
Okay.
Ulve Center in Navi Mumbai has, as I said, it has started off with 3 children at the moment. We are trying to get in more children to join in.
Hmm. So, how many coaches do you have in the Jalandhar Academy?
Jalandhar, we have at the moment we have around three to four coaches we are having
Hmm.
in Jalandhar at the moment because few of the coaches during the lockdown, we had to mutually decide that we cannot support them at this time. So
Hmm.
one or two coaches we had to request them to uh, go back,
Okay.
and we will
Yeah.
try to contact them once things normalize.
Okay. So, Zafar Ali Khan, Sahab has a question. He has written something for you. He said, "Good evening. Good evening, Zafar Ali Khan Sahab. Hope
Good
India
evening.
wins more medal at Olympics as government also keeping a close watch on that, which is evident from the fact that there are quite a number of nominations in badminton on Sports Day.
Yeah.
So government of India is
So.
also keeping a close watch. Yes, he meant to say,
Yes.
you know, for the national award, for the national sports award, there were a lot of nominations from badminton.
Mhm. Yes, badminton,
So,
Indian badminton is doing well. So
hmm,
now it is one of the top countries across the world in terms of performance. So Indian badminton is doing well, and with the it in terms of popularity also it has gained. It is next only to cricket at the moment. And in terms of racket sports, there is lot of enthusiasm. Lot of
hmm,
academies that have come up. Former players have opened academies to give back
yes,
something to the game. So
hmm,
things are looking bright for badminton, and in
hmm,
the coming days, we will see that Indian badminton will grow much more in popularity.
absolutely. Let's hope that. We have Deep Kolita, Dipankar sir, devoted wholeheartedly without thinking about his personal loss or gain. Really, this pandemic, COVID 19, ruined drastically, but still, we have faith and strongly believe that normal situation will be in front of us very soon, and our children will be in court, and sir will be in full action, full swing spirit, because his dream is to be achieved at any cost.
Thank you
That
very
is
much.
Deep
Thank you
Kolita.
very
Thank
much,
you so
Deepak.
much.
Yes.
Yes, yeah,
Thank you very much.
he keeps on commentating, and he never
Yes.
misses any live session. And thank you so
Yes.
much, Dada, for being constant support and you know constantly motivating a journalist like me also, because it is for them that I keep on going on and on even at this pandemic situation. Viddu Dev says champion, truly a champion, somebody who is still very, very, very popular among all the masses, be it a junior or a senior. Everyone still wants Dipankar Bhattacharjee. They love to hear you say. So that is what I believe is a blessing for you, because people still
Thank you.
still love you so much and they really support you in whatever you're
Thank
doing
you.
for the betterment of
Thank you very
badminton in
much.
India.
Thank you.
So, Dipankar, let me go back to one of the questions that was asked by Mr. Zafar Ali Khan Saab. He says that, this time we could see a lot of nominations in the National Sports Award from badminton. And like you mentioned that, Indian badminton is going far, it's doing really well internationally. And nobody expected in India after cricket,
Mhm.
all the shuttlers, they are superstars now. There are no dearth of facilities. Money is coming in, sponsors are coming in. That's a very, very wonderful gesture, I should say. And so a lot
Yes.
of people are getting involved with badminton now. But
Yes.
Dipankar, somewhere or the other, I feel, as a journalist from my perspective, that we do not have a lot of bench strength when it comes to
Bench strength.
international shuttler. We talk about Saina, we talk about Sindhu, but what are, we always need bench strength because we need 2 3
Yeah.
batches ready for national and international events. What's your take on that?
Yes. See, uh, to work on the depth, as you say, the bench strength, we need to have more academies. Now, badminton coaching, Indian badminton coaching is concentrated in Hyderabad and Bangalore. I mean,
Hmm.
the elite badminton coaching, Prakash Padukone Badminton Academy, Gopichand Badminton Academy, and most of the
Hmm.
top players, they come from those two academies. And there is government support also to those academies.
Hmm.
So, there has to be more such academies. In fact, all those former Olympians, former champions who represented the
Hmm.
country, they should get involved. Like Gopi is totally involved with the development of badminton. The former players need to
Absolutely.
uh, devote full time
Hmm.
uh, into the development of sports and particularly badminton.
Hmm.
So this is at the moment not happening mainly because of one very big reason. Most of these sports persons, they are employed with various organizations. I am with a particular PSU. Most of
Hmm.
the sports person, they are with these PSUs. So now once the sporting career is over, so these sports person, whether they have represented in the Olympics or and they have been national champion, they have to work
Hmm.
full time. They have to work full time, which is very right also, because these PSUs, these organizations, they are really supporting these sports person,
Hmm.
because after the sports career is over, their life is secured. So that is a very big thing, and
Hmm.
it started happening from late 80s when the sports policy came up, and PSUs came forward to recruit sports persons, excellent sports
Hmm.
person, and the their life became secure. Now, I would
Yes.
like to request the next thing that the government can do is, being in this their job, they should be given flexibility to uh, give back something to the sport. So that is the next step that government of India can think of, and that will be a big boost towards, uh, improvement of the standards,
Producing more
improvement,
and
as you
more
say,
stars.
the bench strength. There will be more,
Yes.
the the base will be much broader, so there will be a
Hmm.
greater uh, excellence. I mean, if the base of the pyramid is bigger, the height of the pyramid will be higher. So that's
Hmm.
how it should be. So more and more sports persons should, former sports persons should get engaged into development of sports.
Hmm. Like you said, there are a lot of international ex-players and a lot of Olympians who have started their own academies and who are trying to give it back to the game.
Yes,
Uh, but again, I would like to ask you in the perspective from Assam.
yes,
Like a couple of months back, Sports Minister Mr. Kiran Rijiju said he stressed the need and the importance of grooming domestic players, our ex-international players in all sports, and
mm,
not to rope in too many international coaches. He
yes,
said, why don't we train, why don't we groom our ex players and bring them together for the
mm,
promotion, for the betterment of sports, and so that I know there are a lot of sports persons, like you said, who wants to really give it back to the sports they once played and brought laurel to the country, for the state, for the society. So when it comes to Assam or some other states, you get to see that they rope in international coaches, so-called international coaches, and I would like to give you a very small personal experience of mine. Dipankar, if you remember, 2010, the Assam Badminton Academy was formed in October. and it was a great news for all of us, and we were, so hopeful that, wow, this is a moment we were waiting for. When you have an academy specifically for badminton players, you will find a lot of output. I mean, a lot of champions will be produced, and these young people will be groomed, young talents. And you know how talented players from Assam and the Northeast are, because this is uh, what I get to hear from many international shuttlers. And
Yes.
then, to my utter surprise, the coach that was brought from Indonesia, I and
Mm.
along with a senior colleague of mine, if you still remember, there is a hotel just opposite to Nehru Stadium, Landmark Hotel or opposite on. So
Yes.
I went there to meet that particular gentleman, coach, and to my utter surprise, when I was, I was googling his name. I was going through a lot of website, and I did not even find his name in any Indonesian website, in any Indonesia badminton website. So
Mm.
is this how you fool people? Is this how
Mm.
you rope in somebody just for the
Mm.
sake that you have an international coach, and you ignoring all the national and the domestic international players that you have here at home, who can be better coached, because you know your home condition, you know the psyche of the
Right.
players, when,
Yes.
isn't it? Like, you know the psyche of
Exactly.
players in Assam, because you know what
Yes.
is going on, you know everything. So why
Yes.
do you need to fool somebody? So
Yes.
my question to you is, when Sports Minister Mr. Rijiju himself said that, we can groom our own players, and then why give so much of money to international coaches? Yes, apart
Right.
from one two instance, it's fine. But why not concentrating on our own players? What's your take on that?
Right. You are uh, a person like a local person will understand the psyche of the player, as you rightly said. He will also be more committed because
Hmm.
he is known in the society in which he is giving back to the sport. So he will be more committed and he will be accountable, accountable to deliver because
Yes.
because people around him know him and they are expecting something out of him. So he will
Hmm.
be more dedicated, more devoted to giving back something to the society. So the best model will be, yes, you get the foreign coaches, but you have someone on top of him to regulate his coaching, someone to monitor his coaching. A former sports person from the local place has to be kept on top of him in order to review and monitor his activity. And he has to, the foreign coach, even if you are bringing a foreign coach, that person has to report to him. So there has to be a
Yes.
constant monitoring of his performance because it is noticed in India. You will at the moment you will see that there are a lot of foreign coaches in most of the academy, and
Yes.
when there is a Indonesian coach or a Malaysian coach, they sell like hotcakes. Just the
Yes.
name Indonesian coach, a Malaysian coach, or a Chinese coach, they sell like hotcakes. People will not bother to inquire about how much they played actually. So what are their
Yes.
performance? What are their background? They will not check. They only need that name, Indonesian, Malaysian, or Chinese coach. So that is happening across the country. That's why I said, you know, there has to be someone to monitor their performance, monitor how what they are delivering, and none of the academies should actually give them all the power to do whatever they wish. So
Hmm.
their performance needs to be constantly monitored and reviewed. And
Absolutely. And
another thing
what?
in this regard,
Hmm.
Olympic Gold Quest has started a coaches excellence program
Yes. Hmm.
where
Hmm.
many
Hmm.
of the former players are being trained to take
Hmm.
up coaching. They're being motivated to take up coaching. So all the various aspects of coaching, uh, the former sports person, they are very experienced in terms of playing,
Yes.
but there are
Hmm.
other aspects like sports science, sports
Hmm.
psychology, then
Hmm.
physiology, then nutrition, then all these aspects, the sports science aspects. they need to be given some inputs on those areas as well. So Olympic Gold Quest has started this program, the Coaches Excellence Program,
Yes,
and
it is
um,
successfully
and I
run
have done
now.
that. I have
Yes,
done that program in
yes, I've seen it. I've seen it. 18.
2018.
Uh,
2018, I have done that program, and it is a very good program, and very high level
yes,
of
how was the
inputs are being given.
experience for you? How was the experience for you? You being a
No, it was
two-time
great. It was
Olympian,
great.
I mean,
They
how
brought
important
in.
it was for you?
It was very good. The experience was very good, and I got to know a lot of things. The current trend of the trend of modern badminton. So
Hmm.
they got Morten Frost Hansen, the former legend,
Yes.
to give us inputs. They brought in former Olympic medalists uh, to give their to show to demonstrate what they are doing and how to I mean give the best input in coaching. So it was a very nice experience, and something which is I should say that it was enlightening for me. So
Hmm.
it's a great experience. So this kind of programs should be, I mean, in, incorporated into our system, where the former players, Indian players, should be given the
Given an
inputs, so,
opportunity, yes. Hmm.
given an opportunity, given the inputs
Hmm.
uh, to so that they can deliver, they can get
Hmm.
involved and deliver in the development of sports.
Yes, I get to meet a lot of people, Dipankara, during my reporting time. And when I interact with these ex-players, that's one area where they always feel that, they are being neglected. They're not being taken by the associations, or associations have forgotten them completely. Their contributions have been neglected. They have completely forgotten. So what every player wants respect. That is what a
Yes.
player earns throughout his career, throughout his sporting career. It's the respect that they earn, and they really want to give it back to the society through budding shuttlers or any other sports. So
Yes.
I have always believed in this term called coaching for coaches. Like you said, 2018, when you enroll yourself in the Olympic Gold Quest, you've been such an experienced shuttler. You know a lot of things. You have seen the world. You have played under the best coaches. You have played against the best shuttlers. But even then, you said it was so enriching for you. It
Yes.
really helped you. There were so many things that you needed to upgrade yourself. So
Yes.
coaching for coaches is really important. And if something like that happens in the near future, this is going to be
Mhm.
an absolute, I think, breaking for our domestic ex-players.
Yes, yes. True. Coach, like I said, there should be more such programs for coaching for the coaches. So if you bring foreign coaches, bring them to coach the coaches. Bring the
Yes.
best experts, bring them for a short period of time, say for 2 months, 3 months, and coach the coaches, engage
Hmm.
the former players, and coach them so that they can uh, take greater responsibility for the development of the
Hmm.
sports in the country. So that way, the expenses will also be less. You know,
Yes.
uh,
Yes.
they bring the best coaches like Morton Frost Hansen, then
Hmm.
Lindan, for
Hmm.
example, in badminton,
For
Lee Chong
example,
Wei.
yes,
Bring
yes.
them for
Yeah.
for a month or so, and expose the players.
Yeah.
Those who are willing to
Hmm.
give back to the game, expose them
Hmm.
and give them training by these
So
coaches.
that they can get an opportunity to
Normal,
upgrade
yeah.
themselves.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Going back to the story, when this Indonesian coach, so-called Indonesian coach, was called up by this association in Guwahati's academy, I had Indonesian sports journalist friends. Since we have a wider audience, I keep in touch with these friends. So I immediately WhatsApped and asked, do you know this guy called Faisal, who's from Indonesia and who's a badminton player and a coach? They said, to my utter surprise, they said, no, we do not know such coach. Is it? How did he get there? So these are something which is very unfair for the sports and from the association people also. Again, like you said, local coaches will be more accountable. They will be answerable, and since there will be expectations, so they'll be extremely honest. They'll be hardworking, and they will try to groom young people so that they can have a name of their own as a coach. Uh,
Yeah.
why cannot, like any political party, we vote them and we give them the opportunity to form a government. And then if they do not perform, we just vote them out. And the next
Right.
party comes in. Like in Assam, it happened, AGP was there, and then AGP did not perform well. Congress ruled, Tarun Gogoi government ruled, and then even Tarun Gogoi government failed, and the BJP government came in. So why cannot we do something like, if our association secretary and the office bearers and the president, they're not doing well, why are they not accountable? Why cannot they be thrown, and a new committee is formed, and new people in the association who are really positive and who really wants development of the sports can be brought into the association? Because like you are very much aware, we have an association here who's run by the same old people for the last 25, 26 years, if I'm not wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dipankar.
Yes.
So this is really frustrating. How many outputs do we have since 2010? We talk only about Ashmita Choliha. Where is the bench strength? How many players are we producing? Every time I
Right.
have a talk with you, every time I have a talk with Gopi Chand, keeps on saying Diju was here. Diju said, Northeast ka players itna talented hai. Then where is the problem? Why are we not able to produce players then?
So that's what I said. A foreign coach will not be accountable. They will just come and do their uh, uh, do their daily routines, and then they will go back at the end of the contract. So, in
Yes,
fact, it is noticed that most of these foreign coaches, they follow a bookish kind of a training regime. Okay, bookish
yes,
in the sense that you will see them doing a lot of multi-shuttle training. You will see them
yeah,
do a lot of those strength training. It is very interesting. Once I was in Guwahati, watching the Indonesian coach train the students, and I was sitting in the gallery,
hmm,
and I was noticing, they were doing strength training and bringing all the
hmm,
weights from the gym into the court, and they were doing
hmm,
weight training, strength training, and all the students, they were, you know, lifting heavy weights, and they were making all sorts of noises, and it was there were more noise than actually what the quality of training that they were doing. I was seeing that most of doing those kind of training, many of those players would actually get injured. So,
yeah, prone to injury.
and
Yes,
each player, they have different kind of capabilities, capacities, physical
hmm,
capacities. So those are not taken into account. So Indonesian coach
hmm,
will just like a assembly line. They will train, give the same kind of training to all the players. Without
hmm,
I mean, trying to understand what are the needs for a particular kind of a
hmm,
player.
hmm.
So they follow this bookish thing everywhere. So
And applies
uh,
to all.
because
And it
because
applies
because
to
they are,
all.
because they are not accountable, and their main thing is to make the
Yes.
training sessions more visually
Yeah, visually
attractive,
rich.
attractive,
Yeah, attractive and
visually rich,
saleable.
visually attractive,
Huh.
so that there are people who will really get, if you see one or two such sessions, you will really get impressed. Oh my God, what
Hmm.
training they are doing. So
Yeah.
it is basically for the galleries that they do those kind of coaching, but actually there will be very little that will come out of such kind of coaching. But I said, there has to be accountability, and
Hmm.
performance needs to be monitored. There has to be discussions.
Hmm.
Someone has to question them why you are doing what you are doing.
Hmm.
What is the aim? What is you are doing this training? What is the purpose of this training? What are you trying to achieve? in the short term and in the long term. So these
Right.
kind of review should be there periodically. So that's
Hmm.
what I try to do that in my academy. When I got the Malaysian coach, I used to review him every week.
Hmm.
So that's how, I look at it. It should be that way. And
Hmm.
yes,
You rightly
they are
mentioned,
very,
yes.
these foreign coaches, they are very good at those multi-shuttle feeds and all those
Yeah.
things. They are very good at sparring partner. They have played at a certain level. They played a certain type of game, the speed kind of
Hmm.
game, which is played in Indonesia, in Malaysia, that kind of game. They can be very good sparring partner.
Hmm.
Not be given the entire responsibility. There should be
Responsibility.
someone
Hmm.
on top of them to monitor them.
Yes, you rightly said, and I 100% agree with you when you say that they'll make the training session look so amazing and so attractive. I mean, someone who has very less knowledge on badminton will feel it wow at the very first. Wow, what kind of training, what attractive training is going on. I'm sure a lot of shuttlers will be produced here from here. But the bottom line is that, like you mentioned, that's why I mentioned that you need domestic ex players who will understand our culture, our body, our
Yes.
psyche of the players. Dipankara, I was having 2-3 sessions with sports scientists, with a sports scientist called Durva Vahia, who is very closely associated with the Tata Football Academy and now with the Reliance Football Academy. She's an ex-international football player and also a coach now. So I was having a discussion with her, also a sports nutritionist, Richa Verma. To my utter surprise, we do not even have a single sports nutritionist. You do not have a sports scientist, like you mentioned, which is quite an important part, an essential part of a support team to groom and prepare a shuttler for nationals and internationals. Because sports nowadays is all about not about just passion; it's power game. You've got to
Right.
understand the body well of a person, of a shuttler, boy or a girl. You have to understand what amount of nutrition is required, what amount of carbohydrate, protein, and pre-workout, post-workout food is required. See, I have very few knowledge on this. What I'm trying to say or what I'm trying to convey is that it is very important to have not just have a coach, but to have an entire support team who can groom a young player to the next level.
Exactly. Badminton today, the way it has evolved over the years, the kind of fitness that is required, I would say badminton today is 80%
Yeah.
physically and mentally fit,
Hmm.
with the basic skills, you can take out matches. If you basically, I look at it that way. And um, fitness, today badminton is played at such a pace that uh, you know the kind of smashes that they do at 350 to 400 kilometers per hour. That kind of smash, for that kind of smash, to withstand the stress and strain that you will have on your shoulder, you need to have
Hmm.
a really good shoulder strength.
Hmm.
It is not about building muscles and lifting heavy weights. There are smaller tendons and ligaments that needs to be taken care of. And sports science
Hmm.
uh, actually takes care of all those things. You know, so it is
Absolutely.
very important
Absolutely.
that we give lot of importance to sports science. And earlier we used to have one coach who used to take care of the physical aspects as well as the skill aspects, and there was
Hmm.
no importance given on mental toughness training. Mental toughness
Yes.
is equally important. And at that
Yes.
at that level, it is
Hmm.
the self belief that
Hmm.
brings in the difference. When there is no difference in skill, there is no difference in physical capabilities. The final difference is brought in by that mental toughness. The one who is
Absolutely.
mentally
Well
strong
said.
at
Yes.
that particular point wins the
Yes.
match. So
Absolutely.
we have neglected the mental toughness aspect of it. So it is very important. Sports science plays a very important role in
Yes.
the success of sports persons today.
Yes. Dipankar, I'll go to some questions being sent to you. Bhavan Sangmai, thank you so much. Good evening, ma'am, and Dipankar, sir. Ma'am, you're doing a wonderful job. Thank you so much. And through Let's Talk Sports, I'm really glad that you're liking my live sessions. I'm trying to do my bit during this lockdown, and I'm really thankful that you all have supported me so well. Here in Duliajan, we have a badminton academy run partially by All India Limited. We have Krishna Dekaraja here, eager to get involved in grooming the aspiring kids. It would be better if person like Dipankar sir talk with the management of oil for the development of the academy in Duliajan and take it to the next level. So he wants you to intervene because Krishna is there in Duliajan, so that she's
Yes,
very eager to give back to the sports, you know. Yeah.
yes, yes. Yeah, I would love to do that. I would love to, I mean, give back whatever little that I can give back to the development of the game, especially in Assam. Uh, I would like to add one thing here. Uh, as you know, 2007 was a turning point for Assam sports when the
Yes.
national games were held.
Yes.
Okay, so earlier during when we grew up, we didn't have infrastructure, that kind of infrastructure.
Hmm.
But 2007, we had such beautiful infrastructure that has come up for the
Yes.
national games,
Yeah.
some world-class infrastructure. So I would say that we have the hardware now. We have so many indoor stadiums, such beautiful infrastructure that the AstroTurf hockey, so many, I mean, sports stadiums we have.
Hmm.
What we
Hmm.
need is now is the political will to
Hmm.
develop the software. What is the software? The software are the people involved. And who are the people
Hmm.
involved? The coaches, the students, the
Right.
parents. So we have to bring in these people together. The infrastructure is there in Guwahati, at least. The infrastructure is there. We need to develop the software. So for that, the political will has to be there. And I'm sure, we as former sports persons are eager to give back something to the game. And
Right.
I'm sure the leadership, political leadership in Assam will definitely think about it. And I am always uh, eager to give back something to the game for the development of the game in Assam.
Dipakata, we have another question. Padma Kumar, you know him very well. Padma
Yes.
says grassroots level talent hunt may be carried out. Let a committee consisting of 5 former players, preferably at the national level, participation, maybe the members. Even players from outside Assam may be considered for unbiased selection procedure. Then put them in intensive training of long-term goal with experienced coaches. Results will ponder, I believe. Your take.
Yes, very right. Uh, Identifying talent at the grassroots level is very important. Um, um, uh, it is very important at this point to understand one very crucial aspect. You know, sports is expensive. Sports is expensive, and many people cannot afford it. Especially, I will talk about badminton. Badminton is expensive. So,
Hmm.
you know, identifying talent and supporting those talents uh, uh, in having uh, training by experts at a very early stage is very important. So Mr. Padma is very right. We have to have a committee to identify the talents at the grassroots levels. This committee will should visit the all the districts, and at the district level
They can
they should
spot the
go and
talents.
identify.
Yes.
spot the talent
Hmm.
and identify the talent and make selections and bring them to center and have them coached by experts from the very
Hmm.
early stage. Because, as I said, another thing is managing sports and academics together. It becomes very
Hmm.
difficult. So, um, there has to be a system where, um, special kind of academic help is also provided to these children. So,
Hmm.
very right. I totally agree with Mr. Padma.
Dipankar, I would also like to ask you, if given an opportunity, or if I may ask you, what should be the criteria of selecting a coach for an academy? What would you be doing if you were given the opportunity to select a coach to run an academy to run an academy? I mean,
Um,
what do you look
the
into?
structure,
What are the
the
qualities that you look
structure,
into?
the structure that I would envisage is there has to be a head coach that has to be a local person, a person from Indian, a
Hmm.
person who has played at the highest level. He has to be at the top. He has to be given all the responsibility for the academy. Below him, there can be a foreign coach. There can be a foreign coach whom he will, uh, uh, I mean, guide or design the program with in discussion with the foreign coach. And there has to be a third layer as well, the sparring coaches, people who are those coaches who are good at multi-feed, those who are
Hmm.
they have played at a certain level, they can play games with the players, they can become sparring partners. So that kind of a coaching structure is very important. And at the same time, as I said, uh, uh, a physical trainer has to be there, uh, a team of physical trainer, in fact, not only one, because if
Not
there
only
are
one, yes.
around 30 children in the academy, one person cannot handle all of them. So
Hmm.
a team of physical trainers, then a sports nutritionist who will design the nutrition thing for the players, and there has to be a mental toughness trainer. So this
Right.
has to be a structure for an academy.
Hmm. Hmm. Abhijit Bhattacharya has sent you a message. Our regard and respect for Dipankar Da. Always seen him as an ideal sports person.
Thank you, Abhijit. Great to hear from you.
And Abhijit Da is also doing some great work in the grassroots level.
Yes,
He, along with Rengoni and NGO, they are trying to spot in some very, very young people from different nook and corner of the state, and without much media hype.
right. That's very commendable. Very commendable.
Absolutely. And we also have Zafar Ali Khan Saab asking you another question. He says, which style is suitable for Indians?
Which time is suitable for?
Indian shuttlers. Which style, I mean?
Uh, which
He
style
means
of
to
game?
say, yes, which style of game. So
Ah,
I remember you saying, why are we completely trying to adapt to the Chinese
hmm,
methodology of their game style? Why don't we go back to our old Indian style, old Indian school of badminton?
yes. So I have during my coaching here in Navi Mumbai, I have noticed few things. There are children who from the very beginning, coached by coaches who follow the Chinese style of playing. So I see
Hmm.
them doing some kind of movement, um,
Hmm.
which is not actually very scientific. See,
Okay.
it is like these coaches, they blindly follow the Chinese system, but they do not know why the Chinese do what they do. They just see Lee Chong-wei doing a particular kind of movement that they are trying to teach a child who is just 8 years old. That child will not be able to do that kind of movement. And if that child tries to do that kind of movement, then she will mess it up. It is like learning to sing without learning Saregama Pa.
Hmm.
Without the basics, you are trying to learn making sentences without learning to make the words. So that is what most of the places they are doing. So I have got a few players who joined my academy who came to me, and I had to change their footsteps. So it is a step-by-step process. You cannot blindly follow, just because Lin Dan or Lee Chong Wei is doing this particular playing at a particular style, you cannot implement them it directly to a child of 8 to 10 years. So you have to apply. You have to have sufficient knowledge, the basic knowledge about the learning process. So those kind of things are very important. And yes, it is very true. Prakash, I totally follow Prakash's methods.
Hmm.
He believes that with 70% of the fitness of Chinese, we can, with the skill that we have, we can beat them. So we only need 70% of their fitness, and we have so much of various stroke variation. We can definitely match with them with only 70% of their fitness. That's what Prakasa believes, and I totally agree with him. So we have to develop our own style of playing badminton. So I'll just give you an example. You will see most of the Chinese, they will take it and they will just hit it from this side. And
Right.
whereas we were taught right from the childhood to take the racket like this and hit it from near your ear. So that makes the stroke more graceful, and there can be more variation because the Chinese they play only power game. So for them this
Hmm.
is suitable. But since
Okay.
we have greater variation, we try to like to play suppose a half smash, a slice smash, or a reverse slice. So for us, if we take the racket like this, we will have more variety of strokes that we can play. So we
Hmm.
have to develop our style of play. You know,
Hmm.
and not blindly follow. Yes, we should accept the good things that they do that suits us, but we
Right.
should definitely have our own style.
Hmm. Rajesh Apte says, great session so far. Many thanks to both of you for such a productive live session about badminton. Thank you so much. I hope I pronounced your surname properly. Thank you so much, Rajesh ji, for this wonderful feedback. I mean, I'm trying my bit to, try to rope in Dipankar so that you can we get some amount of information. There are people who do not understand the nitty gritty of the game, and like the Pankada pointed out, why we need our domestic ex players to be groomed so that and not give the upper hand to all the international coaches available in India. In every sport, Pankada, you get to see so many international coaches getting hefty amount of money, and all facilities avail. Whereas we have so many internationally successful domestic players who have not been able to give it back to the game. They want
Right.
to. They have been either neglected by the association, like you say, like you earlier said that when you have an international Malaysian or an Indonesian coach, it sells like hotcakes. So it is all about attracting, or in television language, if I say, it's like TRP.
Exactly.
So, Dipankara, do you have any future plans of, uh, like you said, you have so much of experience and you got to know so much during the Olympic Gold Quest training period. That was really helpful for you to upgrade yourself, to know so many new things about what is happening in the world of badminton. So, do you have any plans of giving it back to some of the other coaches if they really approach you, like a month or a 15-day camp with you, an interactive session with you?
Yeah, my approach is basically I expect the coaches in my academy to observe me. When I coach the players, I want them to observe me, how I do it. It is not only about, that they should follow the you know the drills that I am doing. They should also follow the involvement
Hmm.
with which I am doing it. So involvement is important. What are the small, minute things that I am pointing out during the coaching? I am pointing out a particular aspect to player A. That the same thing I may not be saying to the player B, because he or she does not need that. So
Hmm.
these are the things, and how I am minutely observing each player. These are the things, I make my coaches observe when I am on the field. When I am on the field, I get them along with me. When I am there, I want all my coaches to be around, and I want them to observe me fully how I perform the coaching. So that's my approach
Hmm.
basically. Yes, from time to time, I ask them, what they have, what they feel about what I am doing, and if they have some inputs to give me, I also learn from them. I also learn from them,
Hmm.
because their inputs is also important. They also have experiences, so it is more of a sharing kind of a thing.
So you
So
mean to say you always
definitely.
take their feedback?
Yes, I always take their feedback, because they also have experience, and I also
Hmm.
need to learn from their experience. It is not that
Hmm.
I know everything. I do not know everything. So and and I also believe the best teacher is also a best student.
You are trying to be very humble. You know a lot of things, Dipankar. You have so much of experience. Again, we have Padma Kumar coming up with a suggestion. Bring back Dipankar, Madhurya Borwa, Sushanta Bora. They can fulfill the need of Assam players. Players flourish only when they see their idols and interact with them. Simply putting huge flex of international players won't work. We are losing time and doing blunder by not utilizing the service of this excellent former players. So this is what I was saying. Why can't we
Yes,
have you all back in this particular stadium, Kanaklata Stadium, where, I mean, I think it was your home. You have
yes,
spent more time in Kanaklata Indoor Stadium than your
yes,
home
yes,
with your
yes.
parents and your brothers.
Until 2009, I was in Guwahati all the time. I was there. I grew up there. I was born there. I grew up there. So it's my home. I have emotional attachment. My all my relatives are in Guwahati. So I definitely, there is a different kind of attachment. I would definitely
Hmm.
like to give back something to Assam badminton, given an opportunity. Yes, always willing. And like I said, I was very excited in 2007 when all those infrastructure came up. I
Hmm.
approached
Hmm.
various authorities to give us one of those stadium to start an academy, but it did not happen. But I hope things will be different now. And since it is very disappointing to see that after the golden age of Assam badminton in the 80s and the 90s, uh, Assam badminton is not doing so well at the moment. So it's very disappointing, and we have the infrastructure now, but it is now the political will to make a collective
How much
effort
you want to develop
to.
sports in the state.
Yes, yes,
It's not just
exactly.
about higher up saying that I want Assam to be the sports capital of the country. If you want Assam to be the sports capital of the country, you have got to groom. You need coaches. First of all, Assam is having a dearth of coaches. During Hello
Mhm,
India, I am a foot
mhm,
soldier. I
mhm,
always try to bring in stories from these young Khelo India athlete. When I interacted
mhm,
with them, they were excellent, talented people.
mhm,
Some in the track and field events, somewhere in the weightlifting. So when I was having an interaction with them, what they said is, "Baido, our coach hai nahi." We do not have
mhm,
much interaction with our coach because we are 50 students, I mean 50 trainees, and we have only one coach. So our coach do not have the time. I do not want to blame our coach, but we do not have time to interact with him because he cannot give personal attention to each and every trainee. If we get
Right.
some more coaches in the near future, we will be very sure that we will bring medals in international meets. So it is, Dipankar, it's not about having only stadiums, good infrastructures. It is also about having proper structured coaches. There are so
Right.
many ex-players sitting at home. You just have to interact with them, have a discussion with them, take opinion from you, Monalisa Ba, and Abhijit Da. You all are very much eager to give it back to the state. So why can't they have a discussion with all of you? Why can't they have discussion with the ex-players and just groom some of these players and give them responsibility so that they can groom a lot of talented people. I feel very sad to see that we have so much of talents in every nook and corner of the state, but it is only because lack of coaches that they do not get the opportunity. They do not know what to do.
Right. Right.
This is the sorry
Very
state of
true.
affairs.
Right. Definitely. Bring in the former players. That is the only mantra at this moment. Bring in the former players. Motivate them to engage themselves. That is the only mantra at this moment. And you will see Assam sport developing. All the former players, they are willing to give back to the game. So I think,
It's just that you need to knock their
huh,
doors and just
yes,
bring them together.
yes, yes, that's it.
Hmm. Dipankar, when you said you're very willing to give back uh, to your home state, you are born and brought up in Guwahati. You have spent a lot of your life in Kanaklata Indoor Stadium. Have the association ever contacted you? Did they take their opinion? Do they try to get in touch with you for any kind of opinion for the development of badminton in Assam, in Guwahati?
No, not no, no. They have not. They haven't contacted me. So
So there you see, ladies and gentlemen, a person like Dipankar Bhattacharjee, who's so much eager to give back to what he has learned throughout his entire career, something to the state of Assam, and for not a single time he has been contacted by the State Badminton Association. It's extremely sad. It's extremely heartbreaking to see that people certain people do not recognize certain things, and for their own set of egos and attitude, they tend to fail somewhere, and the ultimate sufferers are the young trainees in Guwahati and Assam. So Dipankar, thank you so much. Ending it
thank you.
here, but there's so much to still so much of things to talk about, and I still remember you saying in one of my interviews, there was a time when badminton has changed. There was a time when Gopi and you used to go for international meet, and there was no one to cheer you up and no one to cheer the Gopi out. So when you were playing, Gopi Chan used to cheer you, and when Gopi Chan was playing, you go and cheer him. So I want to
Yeah.
end this live session on a very sweet note. Can you just elaborate a little bit for our viewers, for our friends on Facebook?
Yeah, it was in 1996. We went for the European circuit. First, we went for the Thomas Cup in uh, Prague, in Czech Republic. So
Yes.
from there, the entire Indian team was there, and after the Thomas Cup, the Indian team returned, and I and Gopi Chand remained there to play the European circuit. So we first went for the Swiss Open in Basel. So there I was in that was in 1996. So in 1995 I was out of the circuit because of injury, and so
Hmm.
I my world ranking had fallen, and I had to play the qualifying round for all the international tournaments. I had to play the qualifying round. So Gopi was in the main draw. I was playing the qualifying round. So when I was playing the qualifying rounds, Gopi was there to cheer me up. And I remember once when I was playing a Chinese player, the entire Chinese squad was there to support the Chinese player. And here Gopi Chan was there, supporting me from the galleries. So that's
So
how it was.
So those were sweet memories of you, playing
Yeah.
international, matches without having any support from any Indian, because there were very few. So on that very
Great.
sweet note, Dipankar, thank you so much once again for coming live and giving us your thoughts and in fact reacting to everything that I asked. And I hope you enjoyed it as much as me, along with my Facebook friends. We enjoyed so much listening to you again. And thank you once again. I hope to see you again, and we'll see you
Great.
soon after the final lockdown ends.
Yes, yes, sure. Thank you for having me, and it was great talking to you. It was something that I could speak from the heart. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dipankar. Thank you once again. Thank you.